In preparation for this Saturday, June 14th, which is No Kings Day in the US, you can pore over a lovely map of events at nokings.org. It shows a broad range of what you can attend. I see that there are community gatherings planned in Falls Church, Virginia, where I live, as well as the city where I was born, several hundred miles north of here, and at least a dozen happenings in the state of West Virginia, where I grew up.
Remember that huge day of protests? Hands-off protests? There were over 1,000 protests scheduled that day all over the country against Trump. Well, this weekend, this Saturday, June 14th, there are already more than 1,800 protests scheduled against Trump all around the country. It's going to be like twice the size of that massive day of protest that we saw on April 5th.
Every state has multiple options, and a few of them around the country will hold key events that you should try to get to if you can. Philly, Phoenix, Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte, New York, and Chicago. Organizers are encouraging people to stay away from DC during Trump's birthday parade. The hoopla is ostensibly for the Army's birthday, but oddly enough, there are no presidential parades planned on anniversaries for other branches whose 250th anniversary also falls this year, but not on a day that is Donald Trump's birthday.
This is a democracy, and in a democracy, power depends on the people. It flows from the people. It depends on the consent of the governed. And on Saturday, we're going to show up to make that point very clear.
Between LA and DC in the last week, we have so many examples of what to do. Mess things up, slow fascists down, file official complaints, go to court, weigh your risk, act where you can, recognize when you can speak up more safely than others, put a wrench in the gears. Thousands of young men died on Omaha Beach 81 years ago this month, and they died to save strangers from Nazis. Very few of us today in the U.S. will be asked to make anything close to that kind of sacrifice for anybody's freedom. And unlike those soldiers, we are free to engage on our own terms. Detainees who were put in camps all over the world in the 20th century still managed to resist, as did civil rights protesters during Jim Crow who were confronted with hostile law enforcement, fire hoses, and dogs. I've mentioned before that people who put themselves on the line in the George Floyd protests made a measurable difference in the trajectory of the 2020 election. All these people have left us a legacy. It's up to us to care as much about the world, the country, our communities, and each other as they did.